All right. Here we go.
Welcome.
Everybody.
Walker's
We are
back.
I'm back.
Walker's back.
And Kieran is gone.
My mug over there. Oops.
Kieran is gone.
Kieran's gone. He's away
Kieran's
doing
gone.
important stuff for his life.
Yeah.
So he'll be back next
He'll
week.
be back next week.
And Walker still hasn't finished watching the latest episode.
Yeah, I still need to get on that. I was also busy. I've had a busy week and stuff. So,
Just
but
fair.
yeah, I heard it was good though. I watched some of it and I liked it. I've heard positive things. So I think it went well without me.
I haven't even checked, which
I
we
didn't-
do have a monitor in front of us from the live stream.
Yeah, so if it looks like I'm looking at different places, it's because now we can see each
We
other.
can see ourselves.
And now I'm like super
audio.
self-conscious, and now I'm super, like weird about seeing myself.
Yeah, you'll
you know.
hear some clicking and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to check the
You wanna
last
check.
episode real quick. See if we got. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got some good stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're good,
yeah. Cool.
Anyway, but yeah. But no, yeah, we're here with a new episode. If y'all tuned in to the live stream earlier when we live streamed the direct, we want to thank you for joining up. And that also leads us to our first big topic for this episode, which is
Talking about game shows for games.
game shows for games. So this is your Summer Game Fest, your Nintendo Direct, your State
Your-
of Play.
Used to be E3, which was
Used to be
what our
E3.
first episode was about. The
Yes.
not so E3 season.
Yes, which was started. So it was
How
last
far we've
year's.
come.
But yeah, so we just want to talk about it because it's been a very talked about thing every June, because E3 has kind of been canceled. Summer Game Fest and GamesCon has kind of taken over, and a lot of people just do stuff on their own. And so the question I really want to discuss is like whether do they still hold any value in the gaming industry? These 40-minute to an hour presentations that many studios and organizations hold for the industry.
Yeah. And yeah, like as Walker was saying, if they hold any value, I think that, we saw E3 get canceled. What was
Yeah.
that, 2 years ago?
And that was a lot because of COVID. And then it was just like people felt it was easier not to go through E3 once they realized, I think Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox realized they didn't really have to pay whatever it
go.
was to get the booth.
Did they have
and
to
all
pay?
that.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, yeah,
that's
because it's
what I mean.
booth, yeah.
You got to get the booth and all that. So,
And instead, they could have just done their own live event. It was
their
a lot
live
cheaper.
events on YouTube with the
Because
internet.
Sony had dropped out a long time ago.
Yes, and then it was eventually once the big three stopped doing it, they just started canceling it. But no, it was and I think the Summer Games Fest, it's a little. I don't think it's as good as E3.
Definitely not.
I mean,
'Cause
it's
it's
did a
not-
good job. But
You can't. Can you go to it?
You can go.
You can, but is there are there booths and stuff?
I mean, it's a show. It's like
It's
a
just a
one
show.
show thing. It's a presentation.
Yeah.
I still think you go. I think there's like a reveal show, and then I think like E3, there's an area to do the demos and to like hands-on stuff.
It's kind of like the Game Awards without the awards.
Yes, it's the Game Awards without the awards, basically. And then like if you're there, you get to do the demos and the hands-on
I like
stuff.
the Game Awards a
So
lot.
for the Summer Games Fest and the E3, I understand that because it is still an in-person event that
Mm-hmm.
people can go to and enjoy, and they actually get to play a lot of the games being talked about.
Yeah.
And that's important. What I still feel like it's the 40-minute Nintendo Directs and the 40-minute PlayStation State of Plays that has maybe 3 or 4 games that a lot of people care about. And then there's a bunch of games that because here's the thing. We watch the Direct. Nintendo should know that the people watching the really watching the Nintendo Direct beginning to end. And I could be wrong. If you were excited for the Hello Kitty Animal Crossing game, sure. I don't know if a lot of people who went to go watch the Direct live because they like Nintendo much were excited about the Hello Kitty Animal Crossing game. But it was 40 minutes. And I heard someone made a good point. I think it was the YouTuber Video Game Donkey. We watch 40-minute videos to watch 20 bad games, and then we get to see 3 good games.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And so is there even a point to watching them all the way through? I don't know.
Because you're just going to get the articles that just recap everything that was important, right?
Yeah, because most people I feel like are like, oh, well, I'll just see the things that are important.
Or you'll get shows like us to where we'll talk about it
We'll talk
quickly
about it.
and we'll just talk about the highlights. Actually, we're not really doing that
We're
anymore.
not doing it anymore, but we could talk about
Another
some
show,
highlights, Direct. I mean, there was the new top-down Zelda game where you play Zelda. There was a finally video of Metroid Prime 4, so we get confirmation of this. New Mario and Luigi game, which was a very big surprise. And Marvel vs. Capcom is coming back to modern consoles, which is a big deal. And the Dragon Quest whole first trilogy is getting remade. So, I mean, it was a really
Donkey
good
Kong.
direct.
Did you
And
say
Donkey
Donkey
Kong Country Returns is being ported to the Switch.
Yes.
So it was a really good direct, especially for one of the last directs in the Switch era. But I don't know. I just feel like they need to, because Nintendo I also think is
Metroid.
weird. And Metroid. I said Metroid.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But it was also like Nintendo I feel like is super weird about directs. Because I don't feel like they'll like they'll do a direct with not a lot of really good stuff, and then they'll just like drop a really big game announcement without a direct. They'll just say, "Oh, by the way, this game is coming out," and we're all just kind of like, "What?"
Yeah, because they said just casually on Twitter that the new console will be announced within the next fiscal year instead of like waiting for that for direct, which that's a big deal.
Which is a big deal.
Which also brings the point that like this isn't really completely relative to the topic we're talking about, but I feel like Nintendo was holding back a little bit because they knew a new console is around the corner and that they can't just announce these new titles that are going to be console exclusive, because then why would they? Yeah, you know.
And I get there's some fun to the 40-minute video. There's fun sitting in live and you don't know what's going to come out next. I just don't know if it comes from a very different era of gaming in the gaming industry. It came from a pre-internet era where everything was being announced at E3 and everyone would show up and that was the announcement. And there's still some of that. I also, what makes me sad is I feel like Nintendo used to be way more fun with their directs. If you see some of the old ones, especially when Reggie and Iwata were there. I mean, they had
the puppets.
Yeah, they had the Jim Henson Company do like a whole direct in puppets. They got the Robot Chicken animators to like basically make a full episode of Robot Chicken just about the direct, and that's how they introduce stuff.
They're very postmodern now, you know.
It's more just like streamlined. It's like it's more formal, and I feel like if you're not going to do anything interesting with that format of like 40 minutes.
What's the point?
What's the point of doing it? You know, and I feel like PlayStation, I don't feel like they do really anything that cool in the state. The state of plays, I feel like, are even worse for that, though. Because I feel like you get maybe 2 good announcements out of a 40-minute presentation from the state of plays.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox had what are the Xbox Showcase or whatever?
Yeah, Xbox, it was pretty good.
They had a lot. It was almost like all AAA, which was...
It was the new Indiana Jones, Starfield DLC,
Avowed, Stalker 2,
Fable. We got a new trailer, which, okay, I want to say something to the Fable community right now. I think it looks really good, and I feel like a lot of people are hating on it, and the protagonist. We don't know anything, and like from the trailers, it seems like they're doing a really good job of like the, I don't know, they just seem to be getting the vibe of the Fable universe pretty well. Like the new trailer was a retired hero in Albion who's just kind of like drinking and just kind of wasting away, which is a very like Fable thing. So it's like, at least I feel like they're getting somewhere. I just have to see. I mean, it definitely looks like a more modernized version.
Who's making it? Is it Playground Games? That's the Forza Horizon
developers. Yeah.
Well, there's 2 developers for Forza. There's Playground Games. I forget the other one, but Playground. Well,
they're both British?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Playground is the one who does Horizon, the open world Forza.
Okay, I think it's Playground.
Is it? Yeah. They're pretty good developers, I'd say.
But no, Fable is just a really fun. I think Fable is just such a cool universe. If you've ever played them, I mean, it's kind of like.
Have you played them?
I've played the first game, and it's really fun. I mean, I still think it does things. I mean, it's a 20-year-old game. I still think it does things that like developers could learn from when you look at kind of open world fantasy games, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, and you get a lot of options, and it's also just like it plays into player choice, which it doesn't really affect the ending, but it definitely affects how the story plays out, and it's really interesting. And so like you literally have like a morality stat. So
kind of like Red Dead Redemption 2, like Kieran was talking about last week.
Yeah, but no, I think Fable is really great, and so I really hope that game is looking really good. I don't know if I have anything to play it on right now because I don't have an Xbox. And I don't think my PC can run it.
Oh, I'm sure the new one.
The new,
Okay,
newest one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
that's
run the old ones fine. But no, that'll be exciting. And then Indiana Jones game I think is coming along.
Yeah, yeah. People were comparing it to Uncharted a lot, obviously.
That's fair. I mean, it is first person though, which definitely gives it a very different vibe.
It's first and third though, right?
It like goes up to third person when you're like climbing a ladder
Okay.
or doing something, but it's mostly
Which will
all
be
in first person.
it'll make it feel like Skyrim probably. Like
Yeah, which a lot of people were like, I think that's a good choice. I still feel with the Indiana Jones third person camera, when you're making a game about such an iconic character,
you need to see him
you need to see him.
to be reminded this is Indiana Jones
This is
you're playing
Indiana
as.
Jones. And like I feel like, Uncharted, I think the reason it's third person, it works so well in third person is because they don't want you to become Nathan. Like Nathan Drake is his own person in those games. Like sure, it's still immersive and you're controlling him and that's who you play as, but he still has his own character, his own choices, so I feel like doing that with Indiana Jones still doesn't match the vibe,
Yeah.
But I understand, I think they were trying to not be an Uncharted clone.
Which they could have gotten away with it because if you think about it, you had the Indiana Jones movies and then you had the Uncharted games.
Yeah, Uncharted is
that
such
were-
a ripoff of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that were supposed to mimic Indiana Jones. And then you had an Uncharted movie, which is supposed to just be like that. And now you're having an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah.
So is it really fair to say Indiana
I think if
Jones is
anyone
copying?
called out at you and you said, "Well, this is just an Uncharted clone," I
it
think
was like-
Indiana Jones has the upper hand by saying,
Yeah,
"Well,
we were first.
we were first in
So-
everything." And Indiana Jones isn't even first because it's derivative of the classic adventure films of Lucas and Spielberg's childhood. But I'm not going to get into that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
but everything's derivative. No. So yeah, I don't see a need for the reveal showcase kind of thing.
I do think they're fun. I still think there's a charm about them, even though
Yes.
they've gotten a little bit more boring over the years. I still
Yeah.
think there's a charm and an excitement for wanting to watch these
Yes.
shows.
And I think Jeff Keighley understands it a little bit because I think his presentation they try to do fun stuff. There's just a lot of cringe, awkward moments.
Yeah.
I feel like at Summer Game Fest and Game Awards. It's always fun though when Kojima comes out. Bring him out. Jeff, it's me. No, but no, yeah. So let us know what y'all think about that. Game presentation wise, because I do still enjoy them. I will admit, I enjoy.
They're
them. But it's just like,
they're not necessary.
are they necessary, and is it something we should still be doing, or at this point, should we be? And I do like. How do you feel? Here's another question. How do you feel about like June kind of being this big month? Of
I
gaming?
think
Like,
it's-
that like big announcements are going to happen.
I think it's
in
good
June.
because it's halfway through the year, and at the end of the year, we have the Game Awards, which has become such a
Yes.
huge show
I
to
think it's become
announce
as
things.
big as Summer Game
I
Fest.
would argue that it's bigger than Summer Game Fest at this point.
I think so, just because it's more exciting to see
Yeah.
the games. So
Because
Yeah.
like you're not expecting them. Your mind is wanting to think awards show, these are going to be awards,
Yeah.
but then you get these crazy announcements.
Yes.
Because you usually see like brand new games being announced at the Game Awards,
yeah,
whereas
I will say though, there's fewer AAA's. I
Yeah,
feel like
which
at
is
the Game
fine.
Awards, which is fine. I'm not like disagreeing. I'm just saying, like in terms of bigness, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where I think Summer Game Fest has the advantage is it's getting the AAA games.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Summer Game Fest would be more fun if the heavy hitters came in. And Jeff has said multiple times, "Oh, we'd love for Nintendo and we'd love for PlayStation to come to Summer Games Fest." But I don't know if that's going to happen. That will be a
Mm-hmm. was
while.
Xbox a part of it?
Yes, Xbox.
Okay,
is
so
part
that
of
was
Summer Game Fest.
okay. That makes sense because they had
They're
that
part
same
of the
week.
schedule. Because
And
Phil,
Ubisoft
I think
is a part of
Phil,
it.
yeah, and Ubisoft has their thing, which I heard Ubisoft's was. It was.
Always,
No, I've heard Star Wars Outlaws. People are saying
It might
good.
look good.
It actually, they're saying this actually, and apparently, it's not like this super over bloated campaign,
Okay.
which I appreciate. It's not like these like 60-hour open world campaigns. They were like, we made it beatable in like 20, 30 hours,
Oh,
which is like super short for I feel like a game of that size, which I appreciate.
yeah.
Because I usually
Might
like
be
to
good.
knock out main quest in open world games first and then do side quest later.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's just how I do things.
I'm always scared to like I'll go up to the very last mission in the game will tell me, "Are you sure?" if you pass this
Yeah.
point, you can't go back. And then I'll go complete like Spider-Man. I got to that point and it says once you pass this door, you can't start playing open world again. I said, and I went in 100% of the rest of the game and then went back and finished.
But you know you can go back always. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I feel that.
So I just get scared that sometimes it won't let me. 'Cause
Yeah, that's true. You
I
don't
guess
know
the
what it's
first real open world game I played was Zelda, and yeah, you can go back, but it's not completed.
Yeah, I would
was
maybe
Breath of the
upset
Wild.
that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom doesn't do that.
Well, I don't know. I
Oh,
haven't finished it.
sorry. Oops.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's not really spoilers.
Yeah.
I expect that.
But no, yeah, let us know what y'all think about kind of the June game showcase. If y'all like it or not, feel like it needs to get changed, feel like it needs to be done away with, let us know. Well, guys, it's that time. It's time
Game
for the Clue
time.
game. And I'm going to go first. Here we go, Jackson. You ready? If y'all don't know how the Clue game works, this is your first episode. Pretty simple. I have 3 clues for something, anything, basically. Jackson has to guess it in those 3 clues. I have to guess which clue I think Jackson will get it in. And it's just a fun game we play. So, Jackson, I think you can get it in 2.
Okay.
I really hope you can get it in 2. You'll get it in 3, definitely, but I think you can get it in 2.
Okay.
I don't think you can get it in 1. All right. This character hunted Gollum all on his own while Gandalf searched for clues on the ring.
I think I'm going to guess
Are you going to guess?
Saruman.
No. I am sorry.
What?
Well, okay. I'm going to let you pass because that is, I'm going to say.
Okay, don't tell me the answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the
You're
answer.
just gonna let me
Wait, did
keep
you say
going?
Sauron?
Yeah.
Okay, I actually can't give you that.
No.
I would have let you off the hook if you had said Sauron.
Oh.
But Sauron, no. But I'm going to, okay. Second clue, I'm thinking this character is in his 80s despite appearing far younger.
I don't know.
All right. Name this heir of Isildur's crown in Gondor, a northern ranger who accompanies Frodo and the Fellowship and leads the armies of men at the Battle of the Black Gate. I can accept 2 answers. There are 2 different names.
I think I always mispronounce his name, but I think I know it.
Okay.
Is it Aragorn?
Yes, Aragorn,
okay.
son of Arathorn, or Strider, as he is known in the North.
Okay.
But no, I would have let you off the hook for the first clue if you had said Sauron, because Sauron, I do believe, searches for Gollum and does capture him, and that's how he knows the ring is in the Shire at the beginning of the series.
Which that's what the new Lord of the Rings movies is about, right?
And that first clue is what a lot of people think the new Lord of the Rings movie Hunt for Gollum is going to be about. But yes, in the books, they don't really talk about it much in the movies, which is why I didn't know if you knew this detail. In the books, Gandalf and Aragorn go looking for Gollum during the 17-year gap in which he leaves Frodo with the ring in the Shire.
Yeah.
And he hunts him all his own, brings him to Gandalf. And yes, Aragorn is in fact in his 80s because he is a Dunedain, which is the last of the elder race of men who lived far longer than regular men from Numenor.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay, you can't look at the screen.
Yes. I'm looking away. I'm just going to do this.
Full 180. Wow. You can face me.
What's a 90? Nah. I can't make out. You're gonna mess me up, Jackson.
I am a character that never had an official name for almost 2 decades.
Oof. Never had an official name.
But he got it after 2 decades.
Got it after. I'm trying to think. Just went by a nickname. Pass.
My original game, started a whole new genre of games, and the genre is very prominent today. Or kind of. I mean, yeah,
All right.
I would say.
I'm
yes.
going to make a guess.
Okay.
Is it Doom Guy?
Yeah.
It is Doom Guy? Okay. That's what I said. All right.
Yeah.
What's
And
his
then
official name? Is it not?
It's Doom Guy. That's his name.
Okay, but
Because the
like,
community called him that for so long because they never
And then
actually had a
that made
name.
him
And then Bethesda said, like,
Yeah.
3 years ago that, yeah, Doom Guy's his name.
is it not Doom Slayer, I thought, or something?
It's
or?
Doom Guy.
Okay. Yeah. How many did you think I could get it in 2? Or did you think
I forgot to say.
Yeah. I killed demons for sport?
Yeah.
Not for sport.
I said
more for
I killed
ancient-
demons almost for sport.
almost prefer more like ancient prophecy destined to kill.
I've played Doom. I've only played the first one,
the very
the
very
original at your house.
I've played. I actually just got 2016 recently, and I've been playing through it. It's really
good?
fun. Actually, I forgot a new Doom got announced, which is a really
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
it looks
Dark Ages.
It looks good.
Yeah, that new reboot series is just amazing. I mean, really taking. And I've heard people forget there's Doom 3, which is a remake of Doom 1, because the naming conventions of that series is so confusing. And I've heard Doom 3 is also pretty decent.
Yeah, and they have a VR version, which would be
Oh yeah, they have Doom 3 VR, and there's actually a VR. It's not a full VR remake of Doom 2016, but there's a VR game of Doom that's supposed to play like 2016 and looks like 2016.
It's cool. It's a lot of Doom. There's
Doom.
a lot of Dune.
Doom
and Doom. The fact that we can have two things named so similarly and
Dune and Doom.
yeah. See, I bet you couldn't even tell which one he said, which order.
Doom. Doom. Say that 5 times. Dune Doom. Dune Doom. It's hard.
Dune
All right.
Doom. Doom.
I sound like the Easter.
I was gonna say from
Night at the Museum.
Night at the
Dum
Museum.
dum. Give me gum gum.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yes. Well, that's our only game today.
That's our only game today.
And we're gonna move on to our next.
I think I won. I think
Yeah.
we're all just gonna say I
you
won.
won.
All right.
You
Great.
won.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to our next section where we will be reviewing something like we do every time. And today we'll be talking
It's
about
a fun one.
Goodfellas.
It's such a good movie, guys. I don't even need to I think we usually save our thumbs up, thumbs down for the end. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 2 big thumbs up. You already know all about it. It's Goodfellas, guys. It's the great movie that he couldn't get in 3 Clues. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
Remember it was like, I don't know that. I was like, you have the poster in one of your rooms.
So
He's
I
like,
haven't
I
seen
don't know. All right.
Well,
Well,
you were giving it 2 thumbs up.
what are you gonna give it?
A middle in between.
I just don't.
I'm very on the fence about this movie. People have been saying how great of a movie it is and
Is it a fantastic?
how it's like the best mob movie there is.
It's up. I mean, it's top 5 best mob movie ever.
And yeah, I can get behind a lot of mob movies are bad as well. The problem with this one, if you know me, I like a good story, a rich story, a consistent one. This movie didn't really have a story.
It is a story.
It just
It's
followed
not an
his
interesting
life.
Story. Yeah, but that's a story.
Yes.
Someone's life is a story.
I get that, but there was no I'm used to the formula of exposition, rising action, climax, falling
There is.
action.
It's the slow escalation of his life and the mob's illegal, their activities. The escalation of the mob's activities and his involvement in the mob, and that escalates into the climax blow up.
Yeah.
Of, his whole life in the mob. What are you doing? That's
I
an
guess.
ultimate.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because he starts out, and I will say when you look at really great beats of story, it opens in his childhood. As far back as I can remember, I've
It
always
was
wanted
well
to be a
made.
gangster.
I can't deny
And
that.
I just love that when it goes, the last thing we see of his childhood, he's in the suit, goes up to his mom, and the mom is like, you look like a gangster, and then it cuts 20 years later, and he's in the mob. But no, I just feel like it is definitely one of Scorsese's best films. I mean, hands down. I mean, you got a really, really great trio of actors in Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro. I mean, they're all just really good, and all those characters are just really well developed. You get an understanding of them, I feel really well.
Yeah. It's hard to remember all their names though.
Yeah, we have the names pulled up just in case.
Yeah.
Let's.
Let me pull that up.
So, and they're all very different. Like James Conway is the older guy, been in the mob longer than them, kind of their protege. Joe Pesci's the glass cannon. Tommy DeVito's the glass cannon, hot-headed. And then Henry Hill's kind of in the middle, doesn't really know what he wants. But it's really fun. I like it because it, Godfather is a more slower. It's more
Which I
about
love The Godfather.
family. It's more about the family relationship, and it's more your classic mobster movie.
It was
and
like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and Goodfellas is more about like, wait, dang it, no, I didn't say that. No, dang it, you would trap me. No, I wasn't thinking. No,
I was like, it's all about family.
No one take out of context that I just said Godfather's just like the Fast and Furious series.
And you just agreed out of.
No,
You've been
but
messing
you
up.
said it first.
Well, I said it as a joke, and you said yeah, and just continued on like
I
it
wasn't
was
thinking
nothing.
because I was trying to remember how to describe Goodfellas, which is more about like the more day to day, and it's more about like the benefits of being in the mob and like what you actually do in the mob. And I think Scorsese, what I love about films is that you can take a film that goes over one day, or you can take a film that goes over 30 years, and they're all doable. They just have to be done well. And Scorsese does a really good job of going from I think it's like the 50s or the 60s. You want to close the door? Just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There's some noise coming from the other room. All right, that's better.
Sorry about that.
Sorry
Somebody's
about
vacuuming out there.
Someone's vacuuming out there. But Scorsese does a really good job. Look up when the time period takes place. But all through those, I think it's like 40s to the like when the timeline of Goodfellas. It goes from it
in
starts in the
1955
50s and all the way to the 80s.
and goes all the way to 1980.
1980. So goes from the 50s to the 80s. So it's like a 25-year, quarter of a century, is how I'll say it, of a life in the mafia. And he does a really good job of carrying us through that. And my favorite way he does that is the soundtrack. You have to admit the soundtrack is amazing.
I don't remember it too well. I mean, I'm not denying that it's not.
How do you not
I don't
remember that soundtrack? Even not like individual songs. It's just like every song on there. And like when he's all coked out, it's like switching to it's like switching to a song every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean
it was yeah.
Yeah, and that's not even the full but I mean like the
soundtrack
Layla,
is in like the
music used.
Oh,
not
music
the
use.
score.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No, that was good.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like the actual music, like
Yeah,
orchestrated
it's just a
music or
really
something.
well done film, and of course, there's that really famous but still well done the one singular shot of him walking into the restaurant with his wife.
Oh, yeah.
and he knows everyone there, and it's all one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like it's not like I don't think there's any like hidden cuts or edited in any way.
really
He goes
cool.
straight in. They get the table down, and I'm sure that took like a whole day to shoot.
I'm
not
sure.
multiple, but excuse me, but no. It's just really cool, just the way he films it, and you kind of see like it's kind of happy-go-lucky, and then it kind of slowly gets into the coked out, crazy version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you kind of see it's cool though because you kind of see it go from the classic kind of mobsters who had more of a code in the 50s and 60s,
Yeah.
into kind of the drug coked out world of the 70s and 80s, in that world. So I think it's really interesting the tonal shifts he uses. And the way he displays. The one thing I can't get behind, and this is spoilers, one thing that still doesn't make sense to me in that movie is the final shot. Now I don't know, you probably don't remember, but he's in the safe house, like he's out. This is spoiler, very very big spoiler sheet if you haven't seen it. But he's out, he's getting the newspaper, and it cuts to Joe Pesci's character DeVito in an alley firing a gun. And like it's weird. Like he like gives this little monologue about how he hates being out.
yeah.
He's like a regular guy, and then like he shoots, and then he kind of smiles, and then it cuts back to Ray Liotta. He smiles and goes back.
Yeah, that was
and I
weird.
wasn't really sure what he was trying to do with that, especially since that character's been, another big spoiler, dead for like the rest of the movie. He dies like an hour, like I don't know.
We'll have to do another
Halfway through the-
warning spoil.
warning
Oh,
spoil.
but then I'll say I'll put that in before we start talking about Goodfellas,
Yeah.
just so we don't spoil.
Yeah.
that we're talking about Goodfellas.
But no, so yeah, and that shot has never made any sense to me. If y'all have any cool analysis or like what you think that shot means, let us know. I'm talking to friends and family. It's always like he can never really escape that world, like he's always going to be in it, even though he kind of gets out. I'm really mad though, because I actually did get Goodfellas spoiled me before I left, because the Today Show, I don't know why they were referencing Goodfellas, but they were referencing it, and they cut to the scene. Another big spoiler. I'm sorry if I've told you 3 times. I'm going to stop saying it. The last warning, he's in the courtroom testifying, and he points at Robert De Niro, which is like a big deal. And they show that shot, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Sad.
But no. Do you think if you rewatched it, you would like it more?
Maybe. It was a long movie.
It's very long.
It's
which is
very
it plays
long
into that
movie.
I mean, it's trying to cover 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, who's your favorite character? If you had to,
Let me look at the thing. Nope, it's
of like the big three, James Conway.
oh the big three.
Tommy DeVito is still my favorite. Joe Pesci's character.
Probably Henry,
Henry, you like Henry?
just because he's not
he's not
mad.
he's not as crazy as
Yeah.
Joe Pesci and James Conway.
Yeah.
That that whole sequence from when they're in the bar with the guy to they're burying him is so like, and then they go to the mom's house and they go to all that, but like it's so, and they're like, you did insult him a little bit. Okay. I mean, it's just like, but
It's
no.
wild.
Fun fact: when they go to the mom's house, that's actually Martin Scorsese's mom, and he didn't give her a script. He just said act like a mom, like act motherly. And like it's the
funny.
funniest scene.
I think
the
my
whole
dad
movie.
told me that too. Well, he didn't tell me about just
to act
acting,
motherly, but it
yeah.
was his. But I think it's like the funniest scene in the whole movie, where they're just like they've just killed the guy,
Yeah.
and they're just all eating dinner.
It's a good movie.
Good movie.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
You wouldn't put it over.
I think Godfather's better.
I think Godfather's better too. I think it's a better, well thought out film. I think it's better. I think it has better, more fleshed out characters, and I think it's more.
No, my brother hates The Godfather.
Well, that's because I remember though. I feel like you're either in like the Godfather or Goodfellas territory.
He
Because I
likes
remember when
Goodfellas.
your brother said I don't like the Godfather, I was like, I think you'd like Goodfellas.
He
more.
liked Goodfellas
and
better.
He did like Goodfellas
Yes.
more. I think there's like two camps you can be in with those, which is understandable.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, we're like it's showing us the storage that a video takes up, and
It's 40 gigabytes for 35 minutes
Yeah.
of filming right now.
kind of crazy. when you
Which
think of
it might be recording in 4K. I don't want it to, but hey, if you're watching this, you might be watching in 4K. So isn't that cool? Look at us.
4K. You can see the really good detail of my beard. Look at that.
Even still, you can't.
I know.
I'm sorry. Audio listeners can actually see it better.
So mean. No. I'm trying to think. I mean, of all the great, I mean, there's so many good mobster movies out. There's Godfather, Goodfellas,
This isn't a good one, but I've seen it. It's called The Untouchables.
Untouchables are pretty good.
I wasn't a huge fan.
I really need to still see The Departed. Is the other one I need to see.
that's-
Another great Scorsese
that's Scorsese film,
I just had a list there. Also Scorsese.
How do you say his name? Is it Scorsese?
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
I know.
Interesting.
He's just such a good filmmaker, just because he's done it for so long, and he knows he just makes good movies.
Has he had a good era?
What? I don't think he's had a good era. Again, one of those things. He's never had a good era.
Try to
He's
catch
just
you off
had,
guard again.
Because Killers of the Flower Moon, I still think was like amazing. I mean, it was long. He loves making long movies. I will say, if there's anything that like he's known for, it's his. Though I still want to see The Irishman, which was the one he did before Killers, but it's apparently like, I think it's 4 hours. Like I think he split it up into like two. Like it's kind of like you watch it in episodes on Netflix. But that's one thing that surprised me about Scorsese though, is how much he jumped into like the streaming. Like he did a Netflix film. I thought being so old in Hollywood, he wouldn't want to like do an exclusive streaming film.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm excited for. I do want to go with this. It finally got a distributor. Megapolis, Francis Ford Coppola's magnum opus, may be releasing this year.
I saw that trailer with
Yes.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, Adam Driver, and that's the Godfather director and writer.
What is it about? Like,
It's this
the idea?
weird sci-fi dystopian.
it looks cool.
Yeah, and critics are divided on it. Like either people are saying this is a masterpiece, and then there are people saying this is the worst
But
thing.
can
I've
we
ever
trust
seen.
critics? You
I don't know. I think fans. It's crazy. Like he self-funded it. He sold like Francis Ford Coppola apparently had a giant wine empire. Like not a giant, but like had a really big like wine empire, and he's sold like a third or half of it to fund this film. And he's been writing it since the 80s.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
I need to see. I still need to see Apocalypse Now, which he did, and Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is very different. But no, yeah.
Cool.
I really think it's been a short episode, guys, but
It has. Is this where we're wrapping it up?
I think we're gonna wrap it up. Give y'all a little shorter episode. Maybe more of y'all will be willing to watch it all the way through now. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for coming again. As always, thanks for staying with us this long.
I know we keep saying stream. Oh, I guess we did stream. We did stream.
We did stream.
We did
stream.
We just didn't get to announce it on a podcast.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll do that soon. We're gonna have a special guest soon.
Yes.
Probably within maybe either the next episode or the episode after.
Yes. We'll figure. We'll get that.
We'll figure it out.
Well,
And
thank you guys.
He knows who he is because I know he's listening.
Yes. So, see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.